Three-time All-Pro defensive back, Super Bowl champion, of course, my friend Chris Harris Jr. How are you? And by the way, we should say congrats on the success of We're the Harrises, your amazing
Yes.
podcast. How are you?
Oh, everything's going good. It's always great on a Monday morning when the Broncos win. So I'm
I'm
feeling
telling
good
you,
this
do
week.
these games just feel this football's, I'm sorry to say, it might be better than your football back then. I'm not kidding. They're killing it right now. The NFL's killing it right now.
I would say offensively, right? I think they broke a record of scoring points the first four games, and defensively, it's definitely not the same standard as when I was playing. So, but the offenses are going off, man. They're scoring points. Teams are putting up 40 every week, and that's not something that you see a lot in the NFL.
Chris, what's going on with defense?
I've seen a lot of poor tackling, a lot of poor tackling, a lot of busting coverages. Guys are not in the are in sync out there on the defensive side of the field. The coverages haven't been as tight. And just the quarterbacks are just on point right now, being able to have that ball placement. These guys are pretty accurate right now, and they're exploiting the defense.
These Broncos really, like you're saying, tremendous performance. And now they go to London, 14 points down, fourth quarter. They're, trying to upset these defending champs. What changed when you're watching? Like, what happened in the fourth quarter?
Yeah. I think Bo just got in a rhythm, when I think he went 9 for 10, had 2 touchdowns in the second half, leading 3 drives, scoring drives. And when you do that in the fourth quarter, that's when that's when you make your money. Right. I remember playing against Tom Brady, and we would literally just dominate this guy for 3 quarters. But in that fourth quarter, he always woke up and always delivered and made it hard for us to close him out. So, and that's what Bo Nix showed yesterday. He was able to go out there, play excellent in the second half. Cortland Sutton played excellent, going against the top corner. He went out there and made big plays on huge third downs. And, Sean Payton, man, having the guts to go for it for 2.
Yes.
I think it was an excellent play call. Franklin, able to use his speed to get to the front pylon, and a great throw. So it was just an excellent fourth quarter.
Are you saying that Bo looked like Tom Brady yesterday? What are you willing to say here?
Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm just that clutch factor, though. He has that. Like, he wants to be able to be that guy in the fourth quarter, and that's what you want to see, Quarterbacks make their money on third downs, and you got to say fourth quarters, right? That's when they really make their money. They got to deliver those plays, and he came with that confidence on the road versus the defending champs, and he delivered yesterday.
I mean, if I think about the Broncos last year and in his rookie season, these are the kind of games they did let slip. 1-8 against teams with winning records. 1-8 in 2024. Yeah. And then they just go ahead and outscore the Eagles 18-0 in the fourth quarter. And it is Sean Payton calling these several times, these gutsy plays that I'm like pulling my hair out, like, oh, this is going to, what are we doing? But if he doesn't do that and stay aggressive, and it also obviously shows confidence in his guy. I'm trying to gauge like how good he is. And then he did that hostile territory. How good is he?
I think Bo's right there. It's little things that he can work on, that deep ball, getting more touch on it. He throws so hard, and he sometimes overthrows guys. If he can able to get that moon ball, that touch pass, like kind of like Jalen Hurts, I think he throws one of the best deep balls in the game. So if he can add that wrinkle to his arm, because he definitely has the arm strength. He just has to put a little bit of air under it, let his guys run under it. And the Broncos could literally be sitting here undefeated, if they let a couple games slip, and they had the lead going in the fourth quarter. So I think they are a legitimate contender.
What is it going to take for, you're talking about the defense. One person on defense that I think is a total standout is Nik Bonitto. And not just like yesterday's 2.5 sacks, the game seal, like the, game wrecking at the end of the game to sort of seal it for them. What is it going to take to start talking? I was talking about this last week ahead of this one. I'm like, he's so good. He's got 20.5 sacks since the start of last season. When do we, in your, all pro bowl, super, all of it, when can we talk about him? What needs to happen for him to be in that TJ, Aiden, Miles conversation, that tier of pure pass rushers?
I think he had his coming out party last year, and everybody, you know, got the Pro Bowl. I don't know. I think he might have got second team All Pro, very close to getting first team. I think he should have got first team. But you know, this year he's on pace to be in first team. He's right there as a front runner, as a defensive player of the year. I would put him, Kirby Joseph, the guy for the Lions. I think he's always having high interceptions. You know, Myles Garrett is out here dominating. But I would have to put Bonitto right there in the front as a leading defensive player of the year, as the first 4 games, 7 sacks. You know, his pressure rate is I think is first in the league. He's playing the run excellent. When he drops back in coverage, he can do that also. I mean, he's a complete player. And just getting off the ball. You know, I don't think anybody in the league is getting off the ball and putting that much pressure on tackles as much as Bonitto is right now. So you got to give this guy a lot of respect on how he's playing on the field.
And then he's like trolling. He's doing the Fly Eagles Fly out there. He's also on Twitter a little bit. So he has this edge to him. I think it probably bothers him that he isn't talked about. It's only motivating him more. I can only imagine Sean Payton digging into that and sort of pressing that button for him. We have no more undefeated teams. They all fall. Bills last night, they're fine. They're great. So, you know, they have the MVP. Some uncharacteristic turnovers. People want to say, of course, that these 4 wins that they had came against teams with a combined 3-17 record, Chris.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this. Who's the best team in the NFL right now? There are no undefeateds.
I'm gonna still go with the Eagles. I think they just went away from their game plan yesterday. You know, they're a team that's been leading the league in rushing the first 4 games, and they come out and, you know, just try to attack the Broncos in the air. And I think Saquon Barkley had 30 yards. So I think they just got away from their formula. If they can continue to, you know, play running football, you know, play good defense with FanDuel, I think they're still the top team. I definitely am worried about the Lions. You know, the Lions is a team that's very hot right now. They're putting up points. You know, of course they had a bad first game versus the Green Bay, but you know, it's a new offensive coordinator. They're starting to gel now with Jared Goff. I think they're a team that you have to be worried about. That's playing really good football right now.
I don't know. The Chargers put up like 10 points yesterday. It was not what we thought to start the season. Commanders, they were at home. They lost both of their star tackles. Is that what's going on when you're watching? Like, what is going on with the Chargers?
Injuries just kills them. You know, when you got backup right tackle and a backup left tackle, and both those guys are top picks. You know, Slater's a top pick. Joe Alt went top 5, right? Top 10. We know that. You know, he's a top pick. So those are big misses. And, you know, even though Keenan Allen's coming back is playing great, shout out to him. I think he just got did he get 1,000 catches? No, shout out to him.
Yes, we talked to him about it. Yes, I talked to him about it. Yes.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. You know, always for guy that's always open. And Quentin Johnson's looking good. You know, it's just injuries. When you lose those 2 tackles, it's hard to get in a rhythm. You have times where, you know, the D-line is loving it. You know, Von Miller was loving it being able to go against a backup tackle yesterday, a guy that, you know, he's played against Pipkins, Trey Pipkins a lot. And Bobby Wagner he's playing great out of his mind. I keep forgetting what year he's in. You know, he's still balling at the middle linebacker position. But, you know, it's the tackles that's killing this team. Injuries all the way around. And hopefully, you know, they can get it back on track.
I feel like that's an excuse. I feel like for another team, you might say that's like everyone has injuries. They're not the most banged up team in the league. And there's a lot of thoughts on Harbaugh and Roman that it's just not, they're not cutting it. It's not, is that criticism fair, or is it really just injuries?
No, I don't think it's fair. When you lose, I don't think people realize offensive line is probably one of the worst position groups in the league right now. And when you lose a guy like Joe Alt and Slater, you know, Herbert, he has to run more. He has to do a little bit more. Now, you know, it's a little bit more stress on him within his offense. And if you can't run the football, in Harbaugh's system, it makes it very tough. It can make you very one-dimensional. And right now, you know, the Redskins had a solid defense. They came in with a great game plan, and they're tough to beat. So they're a playoff team. They just didn't have it yesterday, and next week they got a great chance to bounce back.
Yeah, and he's been under pressure more than every time I look, he's under pressure, Justin Herbert, much more than other quarterbacks in the face. They got to get him healthy. Speaking of injuries, I mean, you could point to the Niners, different positions, all that, and say, gosh, they're doing it with backups. Like they're rearing to go. They should be favorites, all of that. These Ravens are 1-4, blowout loss to the Texans. Injuries, I understand. Yes. Why weren't the Ravens able to stay competitive, though?
Yeah. I'm not a believer in their defense. You know, they have a lot of high profile guys. They lost the big time D tackle. He's out for the season, I believe. He's a major piece. The secondary hasn't been gelling well. So I think they're done. You know, I think you never want to count out a Lamar Jackson team and a Derrick Henry because, you know, with those guys, that's like 8 wins with those two guys together, you know. But right now their defense is just so bad, I don't think they can overcome it. But the good thing is they're in a bad division right now. You know, the Browns aren't playing too well. The Bengals, we see what Jake Browning is doing out there, throwing interceptions everywhere. And can we truly trust the Steelers? So they still have a chance.
They're
but
favored.
With their defense,
they're favored to win the North still somehow. I don't think I've ever seen a 1-4 team ever be favored to win the division.
That's how bad the other teams are. And, you know, can we really trust Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the season? You know, he's playing solid right now, but I think everybody can believe that, you know, the Ravens can go on a nice little winning streak once they get Lamar back. And, you know, he's still the best quarterback in that division that's playing this season. So they're not going to count them out.
Yeah. Defense matters, though, like we're saying with that and the Steelers, and you're shaking your head. I'd love to know, like, your thoughts on what could stop, like what's the worry with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, Aaron Rodgers is playing good. You know, it's just, can he be consistent all year long? You know, at his age, you know, 40 plus, you know, taking the hits, and can he do that for the whole totality of the season? That's my only question mark. I believe Lamar Jackson can come back, you know, a couple of weeks from his hamstring and they go on a roll. So, you know, even though we talk about great defenses, we know the Browns have probably the best defense in the division. But, you know, can we trust Dylan Gabriel? No. So it still rides on the quarterback.
No, it's a tough world. We've seen it all in the NFL, I feel like. And then this Arizona thing happened. Did you see this?
I feel bad for the kid. You know, the coach looked like he was ready to fight him. So
well, I think we have it, right? The Cards are up. It's like they're up 9, I think. Do we have it? Less than 5 minutes to go. I mean, interception, fumble, touchdown, trifecta. What is this, Chris?
You just got to tuck the ball right there and just fall on it. And that's my guy, Lockett, you know, so shout out to him from Tulsa, man. That's my guy. So I'm glad he was able to fall on it, you know, and get a touchdown. But, you know, Cardinals, sometimes bad teams, they do things like this in crucial situations to lose the game. They're just used to losing. And the Cardinals haven't been able to change that culture yet. We see it. They beat themselves. They clearly beat themselves in this game. And they do have talent, though. They do have talent, but they just got to learn how to win as a team.
We've been saying they've got talent. We know it's like you know, Kyler Murray will be one of the wasted talents potentially in all of NFL history. Yeah. I believe that. All we talk about is his talent. That if he was at his, you know, if he performed or was in a situation where he could perform at his full potential, he could best every quarterback in the National Football League. How can they not make this work? What do they need? Chris, go fix them.
He just needs some more vets, you know. He needs some more guys that's been there and done it. And, you know, I think that when he had Hop, I thought that was a good relationship. I thought they were a good tandem. I wish he was still there because that would be great for Marvin Harrison to have a veteran receiver right there with them, you know, that can, you know, help him as he's going through these hard stretches. He doesn't have a mentor guy there. And that's sometimes you need that as a receiver. You know, even D-Hop had it with Andre Johnson. So you got to have that. And I think once he's able to catch up and, you know, be that dominant receiver, they get a consistent run game. The Cardinals have the pieces. Defensively, they're young, they're fast, but they just can't. They got to stop beating themselves.
Calais is back there, but of course he's not in the wide receiver room. But I'm sure he's making his, you know, veteran presence known. It's very cool to see him back, finishing his career there. Yeah, it's cool.
He's still getting sacks too, getting back there.
I know he looks so good.
I mean, he's still balling. You know, he might be able to steal one more year, you know, if he wants to play. But they just need one vet, you know, like Quentin Johnson or Quinton Johnson. We see him playing so much better now that Keenan Allen is over there with him, right?
You think that's what it is, really?
Of course. Yeah. Him being able to help that guy understand where the holes are, understand how to run his routes even better. Keenan Allen had Antonio Gates. It's always, you know, I had Brian Dawkins and Champ Bailey. So you always have some guys that kind of pass the torch with you and give you that extra knowledge to kind of help boost your career early.
That's a good point. But yeah, Quentin's like one of the best stories in the league. Keenan clearly maybe even more important than I realized to that team in meetings and such. I just made the case, you heard me probably in the break. I think Baker is like, I can't get enough Baker. I like watching. I think it's fun. I think he's very important to. I think he's the MVP in my eyes as far as being the actual most valuable player. Who do you think is the most valuable player? If I think it's Baker, you can agree, disagree.
Yeah, I like Baker. I like the pick. I had Baker in my number 2 though. I had Matthew Stafford at number 1.
Oh, okay, tell me.
Stafford has just been lights out. If you just watch the Rams, just cut on the tape, cut on the film. This guy rarely misses. He's always on point. He always has a receiver that's always in the top of the league. I just love the way he's playing right now. Then I would put Baker, you know, having those last-minute drives, you know, being able to have big throws in huge games, running the football, just leading that Bucs team. So I like those two. And then if I'm going to go with number 3, I'm going to go with a running back. Let's go with Taylor. Taylor with the Colts. You know, he's out here balling, having big runs, catching the ball out the backfield. I love what Jonathan Taylor's doing this season.
And he's so unheralded. He gets no love, no juice. It doesn't make any sense. He's out here just like breaking record, does it quietly. I really like what the Colts have going on. Are you in on the Chiefs?
What'd you say? I'm sorry?
Are you in on the Chiefs?
The Chiefs are not out of it. You know, you still got Patrick Mahomes. He's, you know, still the number 1 quarterback in the NFL. And they're waiting on Rice. Once they get Rice back, their offense is going to open up a lot. He's a key target for Mahomes in the middle. And then the Chargers, you know, losing those 2 tackles, dropping a couple games. They still have a lot of life. So I'm definitely not out on the Chiefs. And I think they got a big game tonight, you know, to be able to show that they can be tied for first in the division.
Who's killing it at corner in your eyes? Who's popping?
Ooh, number 1 corner this year. I love Denzel Ward. The way he's playing, this guy is very sticky. He has amazing feet work. You know, he's just always on that guy's hip, and he can run. So Denzel Ward, Quinyon Mitchell was having a great season until you know, Cortland had his way yesterday. But I would have to go with Denzel Ward to start the season, first 4 games.
I mean, I feel bad for them because they're stuck there. Him and Miles. I'd like to get them somewhere else. I might be manifesting that before the trade. It'd be nice.
I doubt they ever let those guys go.
Yeah, I know. They're never going to let them go. I don't even know if Miles wants to go, so I don't even know what I know he wants to win. I feel the same way about Cam Jordan. It's like, you want to be a Saint. You signed back there. I understand that, but like, don't you want to go chase the ring? Don't you want to go to Detroit? No, you don't think so.
If I'm Cam, I understand why he would stay in New Orleans.
Yeah,
you know,
he is New Orleans.
They treat him like a king there. Yeah. And he's very comfortable there. I mean, the lifestyle is just perfect for Cam there. He is New Orleans. So I definitely understand why he would never want to leave there, just the way he gets treated. But, you know, the DBs, I forgot one guy, Rodgers from the Vikings. You know, he single-handedly won the game last weekend. So he's got to be up there in that defensive MVP race also as the top DB going into the first 4 games.
Do we have a defensive player of the year odds for FanDuel, guys? I don't know. I have no idea who's in the. I imagine Bonitto's. Is he the favorite? Aiden's up there still. Wow.
Parsons, I don't think Parsons. You know, the trade was the bigger splash so far. You know, I don't think he's made that key splash yet. So I will go Bonitto. Damn, we don't have any DBs up there.
That's what I'm asking you. Who's the one? So you're saying the one to put on is Denzel Ward?
Or Kirby Joseph for sure for the Lions. He's a ball magnet, a great tackler. he never lets anything get over the top of that Lions defense, rarely. So
he had like a run. He had a run of a pick in every game for like 6 weeks last year. That was so fun to watch.
He's doing it now. Yeah. I think he has like 3 now.
It's only week 5. Yes. He has three picks already?
Yeah.
I have missed that. I want to ask you about, did you see what Jaire did? I'll show you.
Yeah, you got to show me this.
So here it is. Texans rookie, Jalen Noel scores his first career touchdown. He does the Ray Lewis dance. And Jaire literally takes the ball from him for disrespecting the Ravens. Your thoughts?
That's funny. I mean, you just got to kind of let that one go, because I remember I think we used to do that too. Even when Ray was playing, people would try to do the dance. So it's all good. But Jaire, I don't even think he's like a real Raven. You've been a Packer your whole life.
That's what I know, and I feel bad.
It couldn't really offend you that much.
I'm glad you said it. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Didn't make you that mad.
You just got there. What are we doing? Like, do you like? That was my first. I liked it.
And I think the Ravens probably hate him anyways right now. Probably based off the way he's playing. I don't think the fans are probably too happy with him. Or anybody on that defense. So don't let him score.
Why isn't it working?
I don't know. It's hard to put your thumb on it. They have all the guys, and all first rounders. The guys are getting paid, $20+ million on their defense, and all pros, and they just can't click. Sometimes, you just getting a defense that the system is just not right for all you guys, and they're just not clicking.
Last but not least, tell me more about the podcast. What are you guys doing? What are you talking about? It's We the Harrises. Yeah. It's Ryan Harris, you, of course, and Shelby Harris. It's on YouTube. It's wherever you get your podcast. Where can we see it? What's going on?
Yeah, on all the social media platforms, you can find it. And YouTube, of course, and Guerrilla Sports. Shout out to Guerrilla Sports.
Okay.
It's just, we're talking sports, and of course, we're all last name Harris, and we're able to have a O lineman, a D tackle, and then me as the DB. Try to spread the the knowledge through those positions. But it's been fun. Talking ball, talking anything that's going on in the news. So it's been great. Just getting back in this space and getting in the sports world. And I gotta get back. Comfortable in the TV life. And now I'm retired, so now it's time to get back in that flow. Now my girls are getting a little bit older now, so I can do a little bit more. So I'm ready to get active.
And there's plenty to talk about. And if these Broncos go on a run, Chargers go on a run, you'll definitely have people calling you to talk about them. We really appreciate the time. Thanks for staying involved in the game. It means a lot that you took your time to hang out with us this morning. And everybody, yes, go watch, listen, download We're the Harrises with Ryan Harris, Shelby Harris, and Chris Harris Jr. Thank you, Chris.
No problem. Thanks for having me.